From San Francisco, artist and business owner has ignited a political firestorm after the rapper called out Mayor London Breed for the city's crime problems. Take a listen.
If you are going to San Francisco, make sure to leave nothing in your car.
Andy Yang, a.k.a. Chino Yang, owns Kung Fu near Alamo Square. It's been broken into more than a half a dozen times since 2020, so he decided to vent on a track. Well, now he's receiving backlash from people in the community, including NAACP San Francisco President Reverend Amos Brown. He called the song, quote, divisive, devilish, and destructive. Yang has since apologized, claiming he was being threatened by a powerful supporter of Mayor London Breed.
Someone who has the connection to presidents, senators, or, the top elites. I am simply a civilian. So for the sake of my family and my loved ones and my close friends, I'd like to openly and publicly make an apology regarding of my actions and what I say in the video. I had no idea this extremely powerful individual has so much emotional attachment to London Breed.
Well, the track is sparking a lot of conversation. Some are upset over his diss track. Others are defending his actions, and that's why people are talking here on the set. We open it up for conversation, Gianna, because we want to know what people think about this, whether they're in support of him being able to have a voice or if he took it too far.
Yeah, and a lot of people are paying attention to it. I think it was, 14,000 views on that video yesterday. It's now well above 27,000 views. So, and a lot of people are concerned about what has been happening in San Francisco and speaking out. I think there's a lot of questions, though, as to, is this does he have the right? Is this a freedom of speech? And then, of course, everyone has an opportunity to answer back, as the mayor has done, and supporters for her. So we want to hear directly from you, from people on the street. We went down to Kung Fu to hear how people are feeling about the back and forth.
I think that people have the ability to have freedom of expression. It's not exactly like fake news to show criticism, and also it's expression.
Everybody talks about the city. Everybody talks about the problems of the city. Sometimes chaos can bring order, and sometimes order can bring changing narratives. So I don't look at it as more of an apology. Maybe the apology is an invitation of conversation.
Joseph said it right.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about the city right now, and some people obviously aren't using a rap song and taking direct shots at the mayor, but there is a genuine concern. And as a business owner, this is his way of venting.
Yeah, I mean, he works and lives in San Francisco, has obviously dealt with a lot of issues and problems. And, we've heard the mayor speak multiple times at how they are working to get San Francisco out of this doom loop narrative. But what's interesting to me is, I have a lot of questions. Like, who is this person he's talking about that pressured him into the apology?
Right.
I think that's something that comes to mind.
That's a big issue, that he didn't clarify that, because then you're thinking, is his life in jeopardy? Is his safety, his family? And when it comes to rap music, a lot of public officials will say they don't like rap music because it promotes violence. He's kind of doing the opposite here, where he's pointing out violence and pointing the finger at the public official and saying, you need to do more about this. Well, we have some people taking to social media to voice their opinions. How about we look at this ex-user saying it takes courage to apologize, and said Chino Yang is setting a great example. People also weighing in on Instagram under Yang's apology video. And you could see, why are you apologizing for speaking from your heart and exercising your First Amendment rights?
And I think that is one of the biggest things we've seen on a lot of these social media posts and people speaking out is he has the right to speak his mind. And this is coming from his own personal experience. What's interesting, too, is I'm sure he's not the first person to speak out publicly about the problems here in San Francisco.
I think because he used the word clown. So when you listen to the video and the lyrics and just London Breed and clown, it just kind of throws you off. It's a little bit jarring. But there is another element to this, and that is he just trying to create publicity for his restaurant?
Yeah.
That's been broken into. He's obviously very passionate about it, but we're now talking about him, his restaurant, the problems in the city. I mean, did he actually accomplish what he set out to do?
And I mean, we heard from that viewer earlier, incites conversation. It gets people
Joseph.
talking. Joseph. And
Great.
I think that's exactly what needs to happen, having conversations. And maybe this will open up that opportunity between him and the mayor and the mayor's office to make San Francisco better. And they are trying to do that. Nobody wants to see San Francisco like this at all.
All right, people are talking and we want to hear from you. So hit us up on social.